Hello, and welcome to today's video. Today we're starting a new series. As I kind of mentioned in previous videos, I've finished my Season 10 in Project Diablo 2, and because of that, I was looking for a new challenge, a new goal, and I decided that my goal will be defeating Tier 2 Rathma on Pluggy and Soul Self-Found. Now, as far as I know, nobody's done this before, and probably because it's an insane amount of grind, but if there's something I'm good at, it's probably being stubborn and grinding, so that's why I decided to do it with my time. With that said, I wanted to kind of like make an update where our first day has left us. Our first day was pretty heavy in terms of grind. We got to level 86. And I collected a bunch of drops from the first day, and after looking at some of the drops, we'll see what we got in our stash, what are our goals, what we're looking to do. So with that said, let me pull up the video real quick. So yeah, our first unique in the run started in the jails in normal. It was a unique ring. Getting a unique ring so early was really nice because obviously you can see I have like no gear. I'm using a red slag because it was the best I could afford at the time. And we got an angel ring, which honestly was a pretty big boost. Getting like already a bit of MF done so early is really nice. Later on in Act 4 we got our first amulet, which was the Noko relic. And shortly after in Act 5 we got a gold drop. So pretty bad roll on the gold drop, 20 MF, but still having a gold drop is really nice. In normal, we actually got a Spirit Shroud, which was an insane drop. Obviously, Spirit Shroud is like a late game item. You can use it in maps. Plus one to skills, 30 FCR, CBF. Like honestly, an amazing drop that is still serving me a lot where I'm at. So I was really happy with that. That was a huge find for us. Yeah, I will say that my chat forced me to slam it, and I felt really bad. That was our first slam in the game, and it got one socket. Now, the slam is terrible, but honestly, it let us put like a topaz in it, so it ended up okay. But I was so afraid of losing this. This was such an endgame item so early in the run. So yeah, I was really happy that it survived. And yeah, we chose to put a perfect topaz in it. Later in Nightmare, we got a pair of goblin toes from Andy. Andy could drop quite a few things, and this kind of goblin toe could definitely be useful for later, but I didn't notice that the actual thing that I dropped that was insane was this red jewel. And the reason why this jewel is so important is because when you're doing this kind of challenge, you can only pay attention to the things you need for your build, because I don't know yet with what build I'm going to kill Rathma, right? We're starting as the Druid, and we're going to go along and I'm going to use a Druid for everything. I'm not going to make a secondary character, but I don't know what build on Druid will kill Rathma, right? So this kind of jewel could definitely play into a certain physical build, maybe a Maul build like the ones we already made, maybe a Fury build depending on what items we drop or what items we craft. But the main thing that's very difficult about these kind of builds is finding these ISED jewels, and this is already one of them in the belt, so I was really happy with this one. This one was like an insane find for me, personally. Here, you can see I'm like super excited. Keep it here in the main page for future use. By far, I think the thing that was most exciting for me during like day one, as far as I remember at least. Alright, in Hell, we finally, while killing the summoner, getting our first key, and gathering keys is a very important task in SSF because you will be farming quite a few torches. Remember that I can only farm torches with this character, meaning I have to find first a torch to get resistances and then a torch with actual druid skills, and the rest of the torches will be probably used as Rathma food in the future. Here in Hell Act 3, we actually get our first like mid-tier rune, a Maul rune. Really nice to see. It could be a potential rain, but since we have that Spirit Shroud, I was kind of reluctant to make a rain. I might use it in the future for a CTA, who knows. In Hell Mephisto, we actually get an insane loot drop with a Charged Essence and a Russet armor. The Charged Essences will play into it later when we start respecking a bit more. possibly for bossing. So having them kind of like in stock is definitely going to be helpful. And yeah, the Arcanes is a massive. Arcanes is +1 to all skills, a ton of MF on it. So it's a very nice SSF type armor. And yeah, once again, we've been blessed, but we've been kind of pushed by our chat to slam it, and we did break it. We broke it with one socket too. I didn't feel as bad because obviously I had the Spirit Shroud, and I was like, okay, it'll be fine. Like, I got a Spirit Shroud. But I really wanted to hit something really, really big. That could have been a big upgrade for us. Like with like, if it hit like CBF plus skills, sockets, like anything like that would have been amazing. Over here in our first map, this is our first map ever. It was already pretty early during the day for me. I was already pretty deep into the run. We actually dropped a Cudgel that is like the Dark Clan Crusher. It gives 2 skills. It replaced our Spirit Rune Ward on the sword, which was pretty nice to have. Honestly, it's 1 more plus all skills. At this stage of the game, especially as Summoner, gathering as many plus skills as you can is like really, really important. Over here at Andy, we drop. This is Andy Hell. I decided to farm her a little bit, looking for some jewelry, and jewelry she dropped. We found a unique amulet. That unique amulet being a Saracen's. Now, normally Saracens are super popular. Right now, I don't know if I'll actually need it for my build, but it was really cool to see. I used it for a little bit just because the res was good for me. But there's a world where I swerve into a physical build that might use it. In Hell Mephisto, after a few farms, I was looking for good items, and I found our first pair of Mage Fist, first pair of FCR gloves. Again, might be used if I go into a fire build on the Druid, which we might, or just used for the Act 4 Merc right now. I believe that he's the one wearing it. Yeah, I crafted some FCR gloves for him before to reach like a breakpoint, but giving him the mages is definitely nice. And over here in Andy, not Andy, sorry, the Blood Raven while farming keys, we actually dropped a Cryptic Sword, the main weapon used by Arc Blast. Again, as a Druid, like if you want to do these kind of SSF challenges, it's really good to keep in mind all the different builds that Druid can do, just so you know what is worth keeping. We do slam it for 2 sockets, which is a solid starter weapon for an Arc Blast, even though it's only 2 to Arc Blast. So if I drop a couple more either skillers or gear that is more like a cold build oriented, I might choose to swap and farm on the Arc Blast Druid. In addition, like we dropped our our keys 1 by 1, and here you can see me finishing my 3x3 set. Meaning we finally have enough to get like our torch. I'm not ready yet in terms of gear, but we already have the keys, and that's really nice. Here in I think this is our 3rd map, we drop an RBF. Pretty huge drop again. The main ones we're looking for are poison in case we want to do rabies, cold if we want to do arc blast, or fire if we want to go into fire. We do not want lightning, and we get a cold 4/4 on a blue gem. That's really, really nice to see. And again, might be useful later if we do go into that Arc Blast arc. Okay. I think that was kind of like the sum up. Yeah, that was everything we found that day that was kind of like recorded. Some other stuff were also dropped. I'll show them now. So that's our character. You can see that like Dark Clan Crusher, our spirit made in the Monarch that we found in our 2nd map. We have like the lore helm, just like in a whatever free to Heart of Wolverine base. I will hopefully find like a plus skill helmet or one of the druid pelts to replace this. I have this like rare armor I'm using. It's +1 to druid, 20 FCR, and it has 2 sockets. The reason I'm using it is because my Merc actually uses the Spirit Shroud a bit better than me. He needs it for the FCR, so I give it to him. I'm using Mavina's gloves for the Cannot Be Frozen. Super useful gloves in that way. They give also some gold find, which is useful. I might use the Mage Fist later. I have another pair, actually, that I found. This one is Magic Find, so it's really, really nice. That's what I ended up slamming. The gold wrap is still here. This is the 2nd gold wrap I found with a bit higher MF. So very, very nice. We got some rare boots, MF, some res. Definitely nice. Like we mostly use it to res fix Amulet is a crafted amulet. I crafted some brilliant amulets to get more res. I really recommend if you're SSFing, before you have Torch, before you have Annie, your res look really terrible. If you really want to do this like hella content and farm, you gotta get your res up. So brilliant crafts, you make them with diamonds, towels, where are they? Towels and jewels. Towels is like super common rune. They drop really often, so yeah. The 2 rings are mostly for res. You can see here we got like a bunch of cold res and all res, and here we got cold and poison res. These are the ones I was missing. This one is FCR, but it doesn't really matter that it has FCR. We got our first pest. I didn't find where exactly I dropped this. Also, we did the 1 mini. We killed Lilith, which was a little bit difficult. It was a funny little moment there where we were like trapping her behind the door and just resummoning on her. So yeah, definitely a lot of potential. I kept these Nye circlets. Nye is a very strong set that can give a lot of plus skills. If I find another piece of it, it would be really, really cool. If I find both pieces, it'd be really good, both on the Merc and on me. So I'm keeping them in case I want to slam one of them, maybe to hit something good. We have Talbrasha's mask here, normally very good mask for Act 2 Merc. So really, really nice option here. Maybe I slam it for sockets and just use it to have a bunch of resistances. Who knows? Really late into the stream also we got this K Higgins. Slant for a faster run walk. The K Higgins is also kind of cool. Right now I need the fire res on this one. So I'm not using it right now, but if I go into an Arc Blast or into a Fire Druid, K Higgins could definitely be something I'm looking forward to using. So yeah, kind of keeping it. This is the other pair of Mage Fist. And yeah, it's like kind of important to keep stuff that you know you want to use. I'm keeping all these essences that we'll definitely want to respec quite a bit. This is the amazing jewel that we got, 1522. And I don't remember what this was. Oh, it's just like a mana after each kill. Brilliant amulet. So yeah, these are kind of like the things I kept. This is a page with like a bunch of clubs. Clubs give a lot of gold, so sometimes it's better to keep them here instead of like selling them. Also, some of these are magic, which means I could use them for crafting bases for caster weapons, right? Something like this, for example. I got some juice here saved, some maps, some map orbs. These are bases that we could craft melee weapons on. It's always good to keep these ethereal ones, because remember, I'm most definitely not finding a vial anytime soon. Amulets also for crafting, just like high level amulets you want to keep around. It's kind of good to have. And I think here I kept like some items, like a base for free socket armor. This is a Venom Ward. Venom Ward is a very common armor used for Rathma. Sanders, Huanians. If they add Lucian, this could be a solid belt to start it with. Light Absorb 5%, kind of useful in case they don't have a T-Gods. We slammed the Silkweave for 8 mana. Not useful at all for any of the builds that I want to run, but wow. What a slam. Wish I could sell it to somebody else. We got Mortal Kings here. Rite of Passage can give CBF, so that's really nice. 2 Dwarf Stars that we found. This will definitely serve us in our first declone. Some bases. This is the Frostwind Facet that we found. Spike Thorn, another amazing shield. It's ethereal, so it will eventually break, but for our first couple declones, it might be useful to us. Has a physical damage taken reduced by 17%, so it could definitely serve us quite a bit. These are the Goblin Toes. Cyclopean Roar, I don't think I'll need it, but it has, in case I run like Act 5 Merc, could be useful. Pus Spitter, if I want to run, again, one of these more elemental druids. Pus Spitter could be a really nice Merc to have. And Brave Palms, 14 Deadly Strike could be used for melee builds as well. So yeah, these are overall the things that I found. I found some other stuff, like some charms, but nothing crazy, honestly. Some Goldfine charms, it's good to keep. Some Skillers, some elemental charms. Nothing crazy, really. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to day 2. On day 2, I'm hoping to gain my first torch, but first we'll have to farm a lot of items for resistances and for plus skills. I might have to start re-rolling charms, so I'm gonna look to kill a lot of bosses to drop like high level charms and to get a bunch of gems to re-roll them. We really need the plus skills from the skillers, so hopefully we can find something like this. Or maybe find some old res charms, that would be really good. But yeah, I'll keep updating as we go along. And yeah, thank you for watching. More updates in the future. I don't know if it will be daily updates. We'll see. If you want them to be daily updates, make sure to tell me, so I feel like what I'm doing is loved by the people. It will make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. With that said, I have hardly slept the past like 48 hours. So um, yeah, looking forward to that. For now, bye bye, and yeah, I'll see you around in the next video.